What is our
You have to stay out.
view
5 minutes
of the resurgence,
of COVID.
or with finger quotes, the resurgence of COVID cases?
I think it's serious. I
Think
think
it's
it's beyond
serious?
testing. That's my opinion.
Beyond testing.
I think people say, oh, they're doing testing. I think it's more than that.
Well, they are doing more testing.
I think
So you
it's-
don't think that the increase just has more to do with more testing?
I think they wouldn't make a big deal out of it if it wasn't beyond testing.
So you don't think the media would make a big deal out of something?
The media would blow it up, but I do think there's a second wave, and I don't think they know enough.
It's not
about
the
it.
second
Like, I don't
wave yet,
think-
though. We're still.
Then
in
we're
the
really
first.
in trouble.
We're still in the first wave, but we spiked higher up here in the
And it's
Northeast.
their age
before.
group.
Now it's their turn. When we were high, the South, the West, they weren't really.
I don't understand how that
All right.
works, though. Like how it.
Has anybody seen like hospitalization and death numbers?
They are down. Death numbers are down,
Oh,
which means we can survive this.
so if then the positive numbers are up and the hospitalization and death numbers are down,
Mortality rate is low.
that's because more people are getting tested, but yet the mortality rate continues to get lower. I would say that's a good thing.
I think it's a great thing because it's
But
in
why
that
is
age
it
group.
being presented?
It's in that young age group.
Why is it being presented as a negative thing?
Because I think it's
Which means our bodies can learn how to fight it.
yeah.
So we don't think that any of this negative news about what's going on is not politically motivated.
Oh my gosh, it is. Some of it is political. I do think there's a legit fear, but I do think.
Let me ask you this.
Why would a governor close down? Like, why would Governor Newsom close down California?
He's a Democrat.
Why would they do that to hurt their own economy? There's got to be something there.
Why did Wolf?
Am I stupid in saying this?
Why did Wolf wear a
Yes.
mask and protest in Philadelphia with 500 protesters, but a small business couldn't open for one person at a time with a mask
I just
on?
don't think this is a big scam. I think there's got to be something
Listen,
to it.
I believe that there is something to
There's a
it.
fear.
But I
There's gotta
believe
be.
it's being used. And they're beating this thing as hard as they
Oh, sure.
can.
Not saying it's not over exaggerated, absolutely, but I don't think it's a joke. I think there really is.
No, I don't think it's a joke either. I think it's seriously being used.
For political purposes, yeah, because this is the age we live in.
It's just,
You know.
it's.
But I
All right,
think
let me
the
ask you.
spike's
Let me
making
ask you a
nerve.
different question. This was a
We
topic.
talked about
Me
that.
too.
It's the same thing, the same topic, but it was, and I'll try to word it in a way that sounds like what's in my head. You ever notice if you poke something long enough, you're going to get a response?
Right.
Do you ever feel like we're being poked by information, like the news, stuff you see in memes or Facebook? Do you ever feel like they're poking people just to get a response? I do it all the time on Facebook,
Yeah.
just to a small extent. But you don't think that there's an agenda afoot in messaging in regards to
COVID?
what? COVID's one of them.
Yeah. I think there is.
How-
I think it's always how it's been.
And how long then do you think you could poke something to get that response?
Depends on the person.
We've been being poked for a long period of time, and there's been spurts. But they got a big response going on right now with the riots
Oh, that.
and the peaceful
Yeah.
quote,
And you can't say anything. No.
can't say anything,
Politically.
or you're called a racist.
Yeah.
Even if what you're saying is truth, if it's perceived in a certain way. And all of this is motivated by people that make money by talking to you on your TV set. But I think there's more to it than them just making money.
But you know the weird thing? We watched a documentary in 1968 when all the riots were. You wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. It was so, like, it was like,
Well, because once
It
they've
hasn't
seen,
changed.
once they've seen that they can get a response that matches what their desires are, they're going to keep using that.
but it hasn't changed in all those years. What happened with the
Information
rioters-
is a lot different today, though.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it
you
made it
have
worse.
back then you didn't have as many voices countering
Yes. I have social
their
media.
message. Now you have a lot of voices on both sides. And what it seems to me is that that is causing even more
More.
division,
Absolutely.
headbutting,
Yes.
pointing fingers, name calling.
Yes. And I think when you say like poking the bear, I think they do it on both sides. They're poking each other to get a reaction. It gets crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying now. There's
Yeah.
more voices on both sides,
Yes.
which causes a larger reaction.
But it was amazing to see the similarity. It was like time stood still. You know, it was like the same. We're still going through this all those years later with Black Lives, which is sad because it didn't seem to advance.
Without getting it into too far, I will say this: that do Black Lives Matter? Of course they do.
Yeah,
But Black Lives Matter as an organization is troubled.
yeah.
Follow the money. Look who is the leadership, what their intent is, and you're not going to find pretty things. You're not going to find love. You're going to
Yeah.
find hatred.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's what it comes down to. You poke something long enough until hatred grows to anger, and then that anger is brought out in actions.
Yeah.
And that's what you see today.
Yeah.
This is people.
True.
Is there an injustice? Yeah, that was an injustice. What happened? Okay. Is it systemic? If you understand the word and what that means, is yes, there's a problem within the system that person was allowed to still wear a badge after
Yeah.
their history.
Yeah.
But what you need to then is you need to look at, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You look at the leadership and who is in charge, and you fix that first, because you can't fix the people under that person until you make sure that person. So, in this case, it would be the police chief, the mayor,
Who
city
stepped
council,
down.
right?
Do they? Is the police commissioners in there?
But the city, these are the people that were responsible for policing the police
Yeah.
or making sure, and they allowed this person
Yeah.
to continue to work.
18 counts against them.
So,
18.
right, so,
That cop?
yeah, so these people need to be
Sure.
gone. Before you go throwing away the peacekeepers,
Yeah.
get rid of the politicians, because the
Yeah.
politicians promoted the discourse.
So the police commissioners voted in, right?
Or maybe they
Police
didn't
chief
promote it as much, but because of their inability to do their job,
Yeah.
they allowed this to happen. This is their responsibility that person was still wearing a badge.
Like what happened in Atlanta, the ladies had to step down.
That's ridiculous.
She stepped down
But let's get back at the
before they got her.
Before,
So-
oh yeah.
So
before
when
they
you
got her.
have something like this, all right, it's okay to bring this up on a news segment and say, well, this is what happened. Okay, well, fix that problem.
Yeah.
You don't poke it and poke it and poke it and poke it and make it a national thing
then it gets
where
crazy.
it's blown up. You already got people that are freaking out because they've been stuck in a house.
Yeah. Yes.
They got all this anxious energy,
Yeah.
and here we're going to really poke them.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to really get them
We
going.
even talked about that. We were saying, oh my God, like, It's like the
I mean, let's
apocalypse, you know?
talk about Chad and Karen. You know who Chad and Karen are?
The people who are standing outside with guns. I think.
Oh, that
I think
yes.
that's awesome.
Listen, it was the funniest thing ever, man. With the
Is that their name, Chad and
with
Karen?
the pink polo shirt and khakis, and Karen out there with her striped shirt
Yeah,
and
yeah,
pistol. I want you to know they're both lawyers, they're both Democrats, and they both support Black Lives Matter.
They even said that.
But
They don't want anybody on the property.
and here too, if you watch the news, okay, the news. Well, they were just marching down the street.
No,
They
were
broke down the
property.
gate. They were on the guy's
Yeah,
property.
I saw that. I know. I saw
Stop
that.
poking it.
I know. I know. I kind of
You
was on their
can't.
side.
You can't
Yeah.
cause something to happen
I was on their
and
side.
then complain about it happening.
Yeah, I was on their
I
side.
was too.
I was on their side,
Uh,
100%.
They're the new. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Don't they have?
I was
Well,
on
they're
their
saying,
side.
well, people are allowed to peacefully protest, but don't they have right to protect their property?
Yes, they do. Of course they do.
I come out like that too.
Do you think if some guy was coming in my house,
You
up my
wouldn't-
steps, I wouldn't blow his head off? Of course I
Of
would.
course you would.
Without a doubt.
Well, now
And
you're
we feel
watching.
bad
You're
about
watching the people that are poking the bear, saying, you know, what, filming and putting on air these people that are saying, "We're coming for you next." You know,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
coming to your neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're coming and we're going to burn it all down. We're coming into the suburbs. All right. So they put that on air over and over again, and then here these rich people are in their gated community, and they kick down the gate and come walking on their property. What are you going to do?
Go out with a gun.
Yeah.
So then the same people, they should never have been out there like that with those guns.
Oh,
They were
God.
just peacefully protesting.
Yeah. That's
See,
how it was perceived.
Listen, it's all,
Yeah. It's
you know
all-
what?
Media.
They put forth a narrative and they push,
Is-
push,
Yeah.
push
Is it a
to
fatigue?
gain a response. And that response is to separate, cause discourse.
Now, if I was for Trump, and I would have fatigue ring. Like I have fatigue.
Well, that's
Just
what they're starting to
because
say
you-
now.
like you're, like,
now,
tired of it.
now they're saying, oh, well, he's walking around the White House thinking about quitting because of all.
But it's like, don't you
Well,
get like every day for something? It's like, oh my God, like make it stop. Like,
So is that how it works then? If you don't like somebody, you just continue to
I
make
don't know.
accusations and browbeat them. And
I
so-
don't know why this guy would want to run for a second term. I'd be like, I'm done. But it's like every day there's something like it. I don't even want to turn on the news because whether I liked him or not,
I
get
just
fatigued with
wish,
this.
I just wish, and you know they're not going to turn off the TVs. They're not going to turn off the news. They're not going to stop taking in all of this hate. You know, they're not going to stop being poked. I wish people would stop being poked,
Yeah.
or at least recognize that they are being poked, so they can make a decision
Yeah.
and stop. You know,
And they have 5 months to do it.
I don't even remember ordering this, but
Wow.
just set it
I
down.
gotta go.
Don't sit there and carry
I gotta
something
keep
heavy.
going.
Yeah, why didn't
All right, I gotta log out. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye, bye, 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 bye.